You know, by now, I think most of you are probably familiar with the music that is at the introduction of my down-to-earth woodworking videos. If you're not, let's just take a short, quick listen. Now, that music may not be your cup of tea, maybe you don't love it, but you have to admit the sound quality is really good. And that's because the music is a digital file that's laid directly into the video editing software, so there's no compression and no loss of signal anywhere in that stream. Now, let's listen to this. Now you got to admit, even though it sounds a little different, it sounds awfully good. And what that is the same music being played in my iPad, transmitted through Bluetooth to the Festool Sysrock. It is then playing out of the Festool Sysrock speakers and being recorded by the same microphones that are recording my voice. A lot of chances for signal loss there, but you have to admit, that sounded really, really good. Well, let's take a closer look at the Festool Sysrock. Okay, when you get your Festool BR10 Sysrock, we're just going to call it Sysrock from now on. It's going to come in this box. Who cares? It's a box. But what you will care about is when you open the box and you take out this nice carrying case. It's a nice padded carrying case which will protect your Sysrock and keep it clean when you're not using it. When you open the case, these are the items that you're going to get. You're going to get the Sysrock unit itself, the power cable for running it off the AC mains. This will also run off a battery, and you'll get an auxiliary input cable. And let's take a closer look at these items. Alright, the power adapter, pretty standard fare here, plugs into the wall outlet, and the adapter itself plugs in here on the back of the Sysrock, just like that. And the cord on this is 8 feet long. Thank you very much, Festool. They're always very good at giving us lengthy cords to work with. The auxiliary input is a 3.5 millimeter auxiliary input, and it can plug in here on the top under this little dust cover, which helps keep it clean. And that might be handy for some people to use. And then on the back of the Sysrock itself is a hook that you can use to hang the Sysrock from something. This is removable and in fact must be removed to use the battery pack. Also on the bottom of the Sysrock is a standard 1/4-20 threaded socket, which is the same as any standard tripod mounting screw. So if you want to mount this on a stand, it's really easy to do. Now, the Sysrock, in my use at least, is really best when used with a battery. And the Sysrock will work with any BP or BPC flat pack battery. Now, this one is a BPC 18, and they do say in the literature that the 18 volt is best. And it just slides in the back here and make sure it clicks into place to hold it. And now you're ready to go. Now, the system is pretty beefy. The Sysrock itself weighs about 1.5 pounds. You know what the batteries weigh. So overall, it's a pretty beefy system. But I will tell you that with all this protection around it, this thing can really take a beating. In my case, so far, it has fallen maybe 4 or 5 times. Once from more than 10 feet in the air, when I was working on the roof and had this close to me listening to some music, and it survived stunningly. So let's take a look at the control panel now. Alright, when you power up the Sysrock system, you'll press the green button on top, and of course you'll get a little screen that says Festool. And now I'm in Bluetooth mode, and right now it's searching for the Bluetooth connection, and it has made that connection. You'll hear that little beep. And in the top left-hand corner of the screen, you'll see a Bluetooth symbol with a check mark indicating that it has a good connection. On the top right-hand side of the screen, you'll see your battery level. You'll also see the source, which in this case is my iPad. And right now, it's playing internet radio, and this happens to be a local station that I listen to quite often. Now, this is an AM station, and I'm going to get to that in just a second, but let's take a look at some of the buttons here. First, you'll notice there are 4 buttons numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are station presets for when you're listening to the radio. Volume, up, down, pretty self-explanatory. Source, you press that button to choose between radio, Bluetooth, and auxiliary input. And then these 2 buttons here are for tuning when you're in the radio mode. You can press and hold either one of these buttons down for a couple of seconds, and it will scan automatically to the next station that it can receive with sufficient signal strength. You can then press the button again and it will scan to the next station. If you don't want to use the automatic function of finding the strongest station, you can skip the holding it down for a couple of seconds and just punch through, and it'll go 1 digit at a time through the FM frequency dial. Now, some people may be a little concerned, and I was when I got mine, that this unit does not receive AM signals. It only receives FM signals. So if you like your local sports shows, you will need to find those on another device and then send that signal via Bluetooth to your Festool Sysrock. And that's quite easy to do. But if you have FM stations that you like, you can receive those directly. Once you find the station that you like and you want to put it into memory, choose either 1, 2, 3, or 4 and press and hold that for a couple of seconds, and then that station will be preset and you'll be able to find it each time again. The little Bluetooth symbol here on the 3 is for connecting to Bluetooth if for some reason it doesn't do it automatically. And while it's not labeled, the 4 can be used to disconnect from your Bluetooth source. The 1 has a little telephone. And believe it or not, you can actually answer your phone and talk through the Festool Sysrock. So those are the primary functions of the buttons. You will find that when you're on a radio channel over FM, if the channel is participating in the digital transmission of song information, the song information will scroll across the screen. And if they're also participating in the time deal, you'll see the time displayed on the Sysrock. It may take a couple of minutes for the time to come up and sync with the radio signal, but once it does, it'll stay there and continue to show you the time until you turn the unit off. So it's actually very, very easy to operate. If you're listening to FM over the air, the unit does have a fold-up FM antenna. Very easy to use. And it folds down out of the way and is protected. Well, there it is, folks, the Festool Sysrock. A great tool to add to your Festool collection. In fact, of all my Festool tools, this is the one I most assuredly use every single day. And if you've got a Festool fan on your shopping list, it's a great gift. Or maybe you just feel like giving yourself a little treat. This is a good thing to get. It's relatively inexpensive. You'll be able to use Festool battery packs you likely already have, or you can plug it into the wall. Let's listen to another piece of music that I use in my videos when I'm doing glue-ups in particular. This is by Kevin MacLeod. It's some of the royalty-free music he provides. Well, let's crank it up here. A 2.5 inch 8 ohm speaker, but boy does it put out some sound. Seriously good bass and good range top to bottom. Well, if I keep playing this, I'm going to start dancing, and I know you don't want to see that. So, that's it. Festool Sysrock. Thanks for watching.